them, I do want to take the opportunity, as I always do, to draw attention to a few things that are happening at the museum right now and coming in the future. This show completes the full reinstallation of our building that we've been working on since July. I think we have literally reinstalled every single floor, beginning with the collection display on the 7th floor, right up to this exhibition. And so please, if you haven't seen all these wonderful shows, taken pictures of them, maybe written a few words about them, please, this is a great time to think about what's happening at the Whitney, from Popel on the lobby floor up to the Lichtenstein show on the 3rd floor, Rachel Harrison on 5, where we are here, that was the name of our 7th floor collection display, Making Knowing here, the collection on 7, and Jason Moran on 8. And if you haven't had a chance to see any of the live performances in Jason's show, I really encourage you to look at whitney.org and the events page. We have so many fantastic programs happening Fridays and Saturday nights with music, jazz. Jason will be celebrating his 20th anniversary with the Bandwagon here beginning December 19th, 20th, and 21st. We have amazing talks and conversations happening thanks to our public programs team around so many of these exhibitions, including the wonderful novelist Tessa Mosfeh talking about Rachel Harrison's work. So do check all that out. It's hard to kind of draw attention to those things, but there's so many things worth seeing and thinking about here. And you all probably should have received it in your folders or over email. We've just announced our upcoming exhibition program for 2020. I won't talk through all of that, obviously, because there's so many great things coming, and even a couple of surprises I think that we'll be announcing early in the new year. But I do want to draw everyone's attention to the main event of our next season, which is the show Vida Americana, a really incredible, innovative look at how the Mexican muralists really changed American art from the 1930s to the 50s, the time they spent here, the influence they had on artists like Jackson Pollock, Philip Guston, Aaron Douglas, and so many more. So I really encourage you all to take some time to learn about that show, come back and see it, and if we can share any details about it, I know Stephen and Lindsay and Danielle and the whole team would be happy to do that. A show like this obviously takes so many people to make it possible, from curators and exhibition designers to conservators, particularly for a show like this. There are so many fragile, delicate objects. And so I do want to thank the entire staff of the Whitney and our whole great team. And also I want to thank the Lenore Tawney Foundation for their support of this exhibition. It's wonderful to be able to present Lenore Tawney's work in this context. And last but not least, certainly the most, I'll sort of end where I began by thanking Elisabeth and Jennie, and also the curatorial assistant on this show, Ambika Trazi. Ambika's here somewhere. It's been really, I don't know, kind of moving to me to watch you two just take this floor over to bring your scholarship, all the ideas you have about the art of our time, but also from the past, to challenge me. Some of these works I can confess were not always within my range of taste, and I think that's what we should be doing. That's what artists should be doing. That's what the Whitney should be doing. We're all here to kind of learn and push ourselves and see what feels relevant in any given moment, even things sometimes that are from 50 years ago. So you have done a great gift for all of our publics, but also I think for the staff, and helping open our eyes to things that we probably should have been thinking more about and are happy to get to know better over the course of this exhibition. So please join me on the podium, Elisabeth and Jennie, and share about this show.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Jennie Goldstein.
My name is Elisabeth Sherman.
And we're so pleased to welcome you to Making Knowing, Craft and Art 1950 to 2019. This exhibition foregrounds how visual artists explore the materials, methods, and strategies of craft, and reveals how these techniques and approaches exist within and alongside key narratives in late modern and contemporary American art. Organized chronologically and thematically, the 80 works by over 60 artists provide new perspectives on subjects that have been centrally important to artists, including abstraction, popular culture, feminist and queer aesthetics, and recent explorations of the complexities of identity. So what is craft through the lens of the Whitney's collection? Craft is materials. Some examples include textiles, clay, or beads. Craft is methods: weaving, throwing pots, embroidery, applique, sewing. Craft is also subject, concept, and approach. Annie Albers's weavings informed her prints from the early 1960s. Paponasorio transformed hobbyist materials and inexpensive ceramic figurines into an exuberant altar-like homage. Njideka Akunyili Crosby uses textiles in her collage to create a tactile connection to her mother and to her childhood in Nigeria. While Erica Baum's photographs of dress patterns highlight how the act of making clothing physically and socially delineates and defines the body of the wearer. This is what we mean when we say craft as strategy.
The artists in Making Knowing refuse artificial hierarchies that enforce the importance of some mediums or approaches over others by reclaiming visual languages that have typically been coded as feminine, domestic, or vernacular. By highlighting these marginalized modes of artistic production, the artists challenge the power structures that determine artistic value. These subversive tendencies are as relevant and urgent today as they were in the 1950s, and they motivate us in organizing this project. This exhibition also grew from our shared desire, as Scott alluded to display works in the Whitney's collection that we've long admired and never had a chance to see in our galleries. It is thrilling to present works such as Lenore Tawney's weavings, Alan Shield's open construction of sewn canvas and strung beads, and Liza Liu's far from least installation of a life-size kitchen meticulously covered in glass beads over the course of 5 years, among many other works on view today, in companionship with icons of the collection, including works by Robert Rauschenberg, Yayoi Kusama, Eva Hess, and Mike Kelly, among others. Our goal is to provide a way through American art from the 1950s to the present that takes seriously these materials, whether they are used to explore politics, humor, exuberance, joy, or all of those at once. We hope this exhibition offers a space to consider how craft-informed techniques of making carry their own kind of knowledge, one that is indispensable to a more complete understanding of the history and potential of art. We'd like to offer our brief thanks to our colleagues David Breslin, Jane Panetta, and Scott Rothkopf for their support of this project. And finally, and most importantly, we are here because of the artists and the work that they make. And for them and all they teach us, we are sincerely grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elisabeth and Jennie. That was terrific. We want to have a brief program today since you're all standing and there's so much good art to look at. So I think that really is all we have to say right now, but I want to welcome everyone to go on a tour with the curators at 11 o'clock if you are able. They have so much to say about so many of the different works in this show, but if you have questions informally, please do find them or anyone else on our team. And thanks again for coming. Enjoy the show.